and welcome to today's special episode of Sisgetagrip. So today we're doing part 2 of the quarantine episode with our husband. So you saw 2 weeks ago that Gifty did her episode with the husband. And today I'm going to be doing a special episode with my husband. So Jeff, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey guys, as she said, I'm Jeff, the husband. I'm thankful to be here and I look forward to whatever this session is going to be.
It's going to be some difficult questions. I hope you're prepared.
We'll see.
Alright, so we're just going to be answering the same questions that Gifty and her husband answered. And we're just going to go over them and just get right to it.
Alright,
are you ready?
More than ready.
Okay, that's the spirit. All right.
A little nervous, but
oh gosh,
ready.
don't be nervous. So, how has being in quarantine with me been so far?
Being in quarantine with you has been good. I usually work a lot, so
he really does.
Having the opportunity to be home, seeing her all the time has been pleasant. And then also after work, because I get out very late.
Yeah.
Even at home.
Yeah.
We get to watch some Netflix series.
Netflix and chill.
Yeah, so it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's it been for you?
For me it's the same thing because your schedule, his work schedule, when he was out of here, he left home at like 5:30 in the morning and he didn't get home till like 8 p.m. and it's the same thing, kind of. He goes into the office right there at 6 in the morning. He doesn't leave that computer screen unless it's 8 o'clock. So he usually goes in there to like maybe, he only leaves the office to pee, food comes to him. If I can probably get like a bucket in there, he'll probably like that. He's always working.
But I do get out early on Fridays.
Yes, he does get out early on Friday. So he works longer hours during the week and then he has shorter ones. So we have like extended weekends and we still get to hang out on the week after work and like watch movies, Netflix series, which we've been doing pretty good.
Yeah.
We've seen a couple of seasons. We're kind of running out though. So if you guys have like good series to share with us, please share them with us, please.
The Netflix queen over here.
Yeah, but we've watched a lot. We've watched, what are some good shows that you like? Your top 3.
Top 3, I would have to say Castle and Castle.
Okay.
Bella Ciao.
Money Heist. Okay.
Money Heist. And what's that show with the kids? Outer Banks.
Outer Banks is good. Alright. My top 3 shows, I think I like Money Heist, number 1, and then my next was You. I liked You a lot.
Yes, okay.
And my third favorite so far, I can't think of it on the top of my head, but it'll come back to me mid-episode. You watch. Let's go ahead and answer the questions that we actually have to answer. So that's how quarantine has been for us, just Netflix and chilling away. The next question is, what do you remember about the first time we met?
The first time we met, so I had heard about you before we actually met, so nothing bad. So we were both in the same Sweet 16. I was walking the girl that was having the Sweet 16. She was part of the party court. And then I wasn't really showing up to rehearsal. So when I finally did, actually a couple of friends of mine were telling me, hey, you need to come to rehearsals. It's actually been fun, blah, blah, blah. So I get to rehearsals and I see her, you know, she's like full of personality and the life of the party at rehearsal. So that's how we met, and that was like my first impression, like, oh, who's this person who just has a radiance to her?
Oh,
like
you're saying that because we're on camera.
Oh no, I mean, like, you know, it was easy to get along with you, and
here we are.
And here we are today.
One of the first things I remember about when we met was just your presence. You had a presence about you. I know. I'm not gonna sing it. I will not sing it. I will not sing it. Oh, no, I'm trying so hard. They actually told me to stop singing and rapping on live, so
Alright,
I'm gonna zip that up. But yeah, your presence, you were just kind of like how you showed up. You were there. You hadn't been coming, so I was kind of like familiar with most of the people that were there. So when you came, you were like this, like that new character they introduced.
New face.
They introduced in a series.
Mid-episode.
Yeah. So when you came and you were kind of helpful, you were respectful to me, you were respectful to everybody, and you were also trying to help me because you kind of saw the struggle to kind of get everybody to try to learn to dance. Like teenagers, at that age, trying to like learn a dance where we're just hanging out, it was something else. So to try to get everybody to kind of focus and for us to even be able to learn to dance successfully to actually do it at the Sweet 16. So my first impression of you then was like, you're awesome, you were great, and that was our first like time we actually
checking me out.
No, I wasn't. Not even a little bit. No, God, that happened like later. I was checking him out like much later than that. Yeah.
All right.
The next question is, what are your 3 favorite memories we've shared?
So 3 favorite memories. One, I would have to say the proposal.
Okay.
I think the proposal was like a crowning moment in our relationship to transition from courting or dating to, where we are today. So, and I hijacked your photo shoot.
Oh my God. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah, because every birthday she plans a theme, and her theme was like a queen.
Yeah.
She had the crown, the whole thing. So she was sharing the idea with me, and I was like, wow, this would be a nice way to kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah, I'll actually like to clarify. Can I piggyback?
Sure.
So basically, people thought I knew. The truth in the matter is I didn't know because I had expected it a few other times, not that moment, and it didn't happen. So one of the 2 of the actual memories I'm gonna share was that during his housewarming party, he invited his parents and my parents, so I'm like, for sure, it's going down. Manicured nails, like it's about to happen, like I'm about to get proposed to. So I was so excited about that day. I'm like going about my business. I'm like, oh my God, it's about to happen. At one point, when you hear what you want to hear when you want to hear it, right? I heard my favorite music and I'm like, oh my God, it's about to go down. It's about to happen. And nothing happened. It was, at the end of the day, guests are leaving, and I'm like, this would kind of be the time to do it. Like, people are leaving, everybody left, and it was just kind of like, so it didn't happen. And at that point, I knew it was just kind of.
What was the second one?
The second time was my birthday party. My birthday dinner that you planned, a surprise one. And we had friends, family show up, and like, the cake is coming out. I didn't know it was a cake at that time, and everybody's taking out their phone. They want to make sure they get the angle. The cake is coming from behind me, and I'm like, oh God, it's about to go down. And I'm like, oh my God, this is it. First waiter comes around. It's a cake. Like, oh my birthday.
And it came with a watch.
It did come with a nice little piece. Little birthday watch now. And I was just kind of like, wow, so it didn't happen. So those 2 times were really significant times where I was just kind of like, it's never going to happen. And other times too, but those were the 2 that I really like, was like, dang. Like, I left home disappointed, like, so it didn't happen today.
Well, here she is today.
Here I am. I'm the wife now. So, yeah.
And then my second favorite moment would have to be Vietnam. Yeah, because she's like a beach person. She enjoys the sun and the beach and the sea.
Yes, I do. I still do.
To get out of that element and actually have her enjoy a city where we go out and explore, learn about the country. I thought that was pretty cool, and it was a fun time.
Yeah, it was eventually. There was definitely a snake part of it. So we went to like a village, and they thought like the welcome party was to show us a snake, because apparently in that village is where they skin the snakes and they make like shoes, bags, and stuff like that. And the moment we came out the like boat canoe thing, everybody was just kind of like snaky, and I was just, if you know me, you know how bad I am terrified of snakes. So it was like, I didn't even want to like walk after that. I want to like get on his back and like just sit on him the whole time. Not that way.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't, but I did like Vietnam. The trip, the flight was long, the snake was bad, but everything else,
Yes.
I'll take it.
So I'll say that was one of my favorite moments. Yeah, good memory. And then the third one will be high school.
Oh.
Yeah, high school, because she made this.
TBT.
She did this artwork where it said best friend and best friend all over the sheet of paper, and it had a hidden code in there. And I thought that was pretty cool because no one even thought of me that much to make anything for me, let alone. So that was pretty nice. One day after school, we met at the Kingsbridge train station, the 4 line.
Yes,
and we went to Marie Curie up the block.
Damn, just still my whole thing. Yes,
so after school, her and her cousin Yvette we met, and she presented me with the artwork, which I still have till today at my parents' stuff.
Yeah, we need to go like see it one of these days. We should, like,
oh, and you made me that Metro card.
Oh my gosh.
That said Jeffrey. That was pretty cool. So she, you know, as you can see, she's very artsy and
I tried.
a lot of artwork as gifts in our early stages. I don't
Still
get
now,
the
yes you do. Remember the book I made for you, which he never read?
Yes, I
I
did
stopped
read
making
it.
him book.
I did read it. I did read it.
Like once.
Oh, and the what was it? The watch box that you gave me.
Oh yeah.
That said Aquaria on there with the eagle.
Yeah.
Because you know I'm into watch it. So
I
it's pretty
just
nice.
do.
So another favorite memory.
See, I just be giving you all these favorite memory vibes. Stop playing. Stop playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you say your 3? That was Vietnam.
That's 3. Vietnam,
High school.
high school, and proposal.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. My 3 favorite memories. 1, the wedding. I love that wedding. I love that wedding. I loved our wedding. I actually enjoyed it. Planning it, getting to it, the actual wedding. Like everything about the wedding was really cool. It's my favorite memory actually because I loved who you became or who you stepped into, the character you stepped into during the wedding. You were just kind of like there. You were like calling places, doing floral arrangements. He was like a groomzilla, honestly. And he took a lot of the weight off my hands that I didn't have to do a lot. So he was like, you know, ordering, like he just kept on top of things. So I love that he just kind of stepped up because he didn't want me to stress out.
Yeah.
And also, besides the fact that we had amazing wedding planners, a Fraj experience, they are awesome.
Yes, they are.
Besides they being a lot of help, he actually took a lot of charge of the wedding. So the wedding was...
Yeah, because you know, you're the way you handle stress is not really, so you know, it's like, hey, let me lend a helping hand, help her not stress out, and help myself stay in budget.
I knew you were gonna slide me. It's no longer my favorite moment.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. My second favorite moment had to be picnic. Our very first picnic. Yeah. I think I liked the picnic so much because he just kind of like showed up. Like, so we have like kind of opposite personalities. He's more kind of like serious, composed, and I'm just kind of like a joke. I just like to joke around a lot, and it
You're a fun person.
All right, I guess. Put it like that.
And I'm learning to be fun.
So I like create a picnic basket, you know, simple stuff, flip-flops, and you show up. Do you remember what you were wearing?
I was wearing a navy blazer, yellow polo shirt.
I don't need all that details. Basically, he was wearing like a blazer suit kind of thing, and he came up, and I was just kind of like, dude, like it's a picnic, and like he had to like take off his little dress shoes and like put them by a tree, and it was just kind of seeing him kind of unwind from his world to kind of like step into mine was kind of one of my favorite memories because like till date, like we still do a bunch of picnics and like little fun activities. I like a stroll in the park, and I'm always bringing him along, and he's always kind of like, even though it's very out of his element, very unnatural to him.
I'm starting to enjoy that.
Yes, he has. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
More to come.
More picnics.
More picnics?
Yes.
All right, on camera.
Got it.
Okay, all right. So, yeah. That was my second favorite memory. My third favorite memory was Thanksgiving.
Oh.
You remember why Thanksgiving is my favorite?
Because I met your family.
Is that what happened at Thanksgiving? So my third favorite memory was because obviously he met my family. I invited him over for Thanksgiving dinner and he came, and on my way to see him off, we shared a kiss.
Yes.
It's brief, but it wasn't the kiss.
And then from there, it wasn't a kiss that way.
So it wasn't a kiss that was my favorite moment, but it was like kind of like a symbolic moment of when we transitioned from being friends to the potential of something more. So it was one of my favorite memories. Yeah. Look at you. It was a kiss for you? It was a kiss for you?
What?
My favorite memory. Why you have that big grin on your face?
Because I got to meet your family.
Oh, God. Yeah, but that was one of my favorite memories.
All right.
We had a lot of good memories.
A lot of good memories.
More memories
and more memories to come.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look forward to them.
Hey.
Hey. Okay, so the next question is, how has our love grown?
So our love has grown from, I'll say, an infancy stage where we first met. We were friends, platonic friends, no intentions of dating or whatever, and we grew from that into dating. And I feel like as time went on, it gradually matured.
Yeah.
So, and it's still growing.
Yes.
So, we've learned to become one, and I think it's a symbol of how far we've come, even through the different adversities that we went through with the breakup and everything. And that was a moment of also allowing our love to grow to a next level. So,
Definitely.
Yeah,
that's good. I think, I'm thinking about what to even say. I think that our love has grown in unity, actually, where we are more of a united front. I remember, like, maybe some 6 years ago, if you asked me, like, a question about, like, where I wanted to be, it would just be like, I wanted to be here, or I want to do this, or mine, just very selfish. But now it's more at a place of unity where, like, I answer questions in we. I'm always thinking about the well-being of us as a unit, as a family, as being together. And a perfect example of that, and you actually made me mindful of this when we got married, because
what is that?
Before, like, I would be like, oh, I'm going to my mom's house, or like, I was on the phone with my mom, or like, my mom called, like, my dad called, like, or just my dad, my mom. And you're like, but that's my mom too, that's my dad too. So we are actually at a place where we just say mom, or like we just call them by like
Ma Joyce,
Ma Monica, just kind of keeping it very name-based, because at the end of the day, it's not his mom, my mom, it's our moms and our dads and our brothers and our sisters. So yeah, I think our love has grown in unity and togetherness.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, let's get through questions. When did you know that you loved me? This is juicy.
Like I said, our love grew from being friends to like dating. So I mean, of course, dating at that time, I was like in love with you or whatever. But the true test of our love was when we broke up and got back together. Because
that was tough.
Yeah, it was tough, right? You go out.
It was tough for me though, because he broke up with me. I just want to say that for the record.
And she's just hijacking my session.
I'm sorry. For the record.
No, I mean, like, you have to think about it, right? I felt like life was moving ahead of me, and I was trying so hard to catch up, but I couldn't carry myself and carry you as well. Like, at that time, right? Because I wasn't matured enough. Yeah, so it was a pretty tough time, but when we overcame that and got back together, and through the little struggles and issues of trying to mend our relationship again, I was like, man, I really love this girl, because even during our time off, where you will go out searching or trying to find a different solution to. No, you realize that, man, like, you had an amazing person and you let that go, and you're still trying to find those same qualities elsewhere. So, yeah, I think that was a true testament for me, realizing that at that moment I realized, like, man, you screwed up and you can't function without this person, and you need to make it right. And here we are today.
I'll give you a kiss. My dad's watching.
And here we are today.
And here we are today. That's what
it helped us. I mean, I think if it didn't happen, I don't know if we would have been able to get to where we are today.
That's definitely a fact. And I actually think that in God's strategic planning, that He planned it as such, because if we had gotten married then, we had so many things to work through.
Yeah.
Who we were then.
We were naive.
Yeah, we were. But who we became through the tests, through the trials, and who we came out of that situation being was a match made in heaven. So here we are. So I actually want to add to that and say that if you have if things are not going right for you in your life and you're like, oh my God, this doesn't make sense. It may be painful in the moment, but just know that God's plan for you at the end of the tunnel, it's worth the wait. Just take it from me. After he broke up with me. But yeah, I knew also that I loved you during our breakup because after he broke up with me, I was just, first of all, when he broke up with me, I couldn't understand because I didn't do anything to him, and I was just kind of like, what did I do?
So she says. No, I'm joking.
And I was just kind of like, yeah, I didn't do anything, so what was it? And he was just kind of he couldn't give me a solid answer till this day. I think his excuse is a little bogus, but
oh my God.
Yeah. But I actually came to a place after a lot of tears. I'm saying that it sounds easy now. After a lot of tears, a lot of crying, and just kind of being in a bad place, I was like, if I'm not the one that can make you happy, and I love you like I say I do, then I need to be comfortable with the fact of you being out there and doing what makes you happy. I knew I loved you when I was comfortable with the idea of you being happy, even if it was without me. I think that was that moment, that aha moment for me.
Got it. But it helped us out.
It did.
Even though you think my reasoning is bogus, but...
No, I don't think, I know what it means now, but in that moment I was just kind of that's not a good enough explanation.
Yeah. But especially being that I was working full time.
He's been working his whole life. All his life he had to work.
I was working full time, going to school full time. At a point you realize hey, your peers are way ahead of you. I think by the time I was graduating, most of the people I graduated with was on to their masters and everything. And it was just trying to just figure life out, and I was helping you through whatever stuff you were also dealing with at that time. So it's just trying to figure life out. At that moment you realize you can't carry your cross and carry someone else's cross when you haven't figured out how to carry your cross properly. So I just needed every excuse to get in a zone. And in that zone, I think we came out way ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. God's time is the best, y'all. I know that sounds cliche, but God's time. His time and His
time.
In His time.
Makes all things beautiful.
Yeah, I think that's your favorite thing to say. There are times and seasons. So when it's time, it'll be time.
And enjoy it. I mean, sometimes we try to rush that process, but you just have to learn to enjoy that process. Not once that I beat myself up, but I just needed to make sure that I was in a certain mind frame and mindset to do what I have to do, being in that zone. And it's okay. you know, to be in that season and just
Definitely.
still make the best out of it.
This time of like harvest and this time of like planting and all that good stuff. I'm not into farming, obviously. I was gonna be a farmer, but yeah.
So here we are today.
So here we are. So that pretty much concludes our quarantine episode with the husband.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. I know this was hard for you with the quarantine beard and all. Isn't this still fluffy? I'm not used to seeing him like this, but I think it's growing on me.
Yeah. I kind of like it too. And I do want to say, you know, you and Gifty are both doing a great job.
Thank you. Hey, sis.
So, your content is blessing a lot of people, even though you might not really see it. But keep up the great work.
Thanks, babe.
Thanks for having me.
But my dad's watching. Thanks for tuning in again. We appreciate all your loving and support. And that concludes today's episode of Sis, Get a Grip.